me clearly. America is not a racist country.
Ladies and gentlemen, now this story is not going to come as a shock to you, but I wanted to do this story to, you know, make a point that I have made in the past. So, this came out on fortune.com. 83% of Black Americans have had a negative experience when seeking help for managing pain. That false stuff they're taught in medical school that we don't feel pain and they still walk around here believing that. That's the worst part. So since they want to sit and believe it, this is what I would recommend. Get a doctor that look like you. A doctor that understands you because they're from the community. You will get much better care. You'll get somebody that shows a lot more concern for your well-being, and you won't have to deal with their false beliefs and them trying to impose those false beliefs upon us. So you can eliminate all of that. I would strongly recommend that. Even when my father was alive, he had a black doctor. His cancer doctor was a black doctor. I love this doctor. He would always drop whatever he was doing to talk to us. That man never made us wait for answers. If we called with a question that same day, he would get back to you with an answer. Or if my father was feeling bad on a certain day, he would, just tell us what to do to try to make him as comfortable as possible. When he was hospitalized, he would come in the room, sit down, talk to us. He never made us feel like he was rushing from patient to patient. It was very good care. I wish my father would have lasted longer, but he didn't. But he did get very good care from this doctor, and I deeply appreciate it. So if you get a doctor and that doctor look like you, they'll understand your pain and they're not going to dismiss your pain like them folks doctors will. They'll just dismiss it right on its face. You won't have that problem if you get a doctor from within your community. And if there are none, then you have to go with the options that you have, because I realize some of us, depending on what part of the country and where you live, you may not have a lot of black doctors in you. So you're going to have to do the best that you can. But these folks, let's face it, y'all, they have proven not to be good with us when it comes down to medicine. That's why it's best just to get away from it. Since they want to carry on these falsehoods, don't give them your money. Don't visit them. That's less money coming to them. And that's exactly what they deserve when they won't listen to us. So let's get into this story. Pain is a universal human experience, but how the pain is treated can depend on a few factors, such as where you live, how much money you make, and the color of your skin. Yes, you know, pain is taken a lot more seriously when the patient is white. So, according to a study, 3 out of 4 Black people believe there is bias in how their pain is diagnosed. I agree with that. Now, Advil, a popular pain relief brand, is aiming to address inequality in pain diagnosis and treatment with the Advil Pain Equity Project. As part of this multi year project, Advil is awarding grants to Morehouse School of Medicine and Black Health, an Atlanta based nonprofit, support the development of patient resources and a course for medical school students to address pain equity, both in and outside of medical facilities. The tools and resources are available at believemypain.com. See, if we were getting good care from them folks, ladies and gentlemen, you wouldn't need a website like that. You wouldn't have any problems with pain at all. That's why I'm telling y'all, stop dealing with these issues when you can just switch to a doctor that will listen to you. In a survey of 2,000 Americans conducted by Advil in collaboration with Morehouse School of Medicine, 93% of Black individuals said pain has an impact on their day to day life. And furthermore, 83% said they had a negative experience when seeking help with pain management. These stats are daunting and disturbing, which is why the author and physician, thought leader, and this is Dr. Ushay Blackstock, founder of Advancing Health Equity, is committed to dismantling racism in healthcare and closing the gap in racial health inequities. If pain goes untreated, people experience physical, emotional, and psychological distress. They are not able to enjoy activities of daily living, like spending time with family and friends, and they are unable to go to work and cannot pay their bills, said Blackstock. Even worse, they are likely to have a diagnosis that have been missed or delayed that could potentially harm them or ultimately result in their death. Pain inequity is an issue that disproportionately affects Black people because these folks are taught in medical schools, and medical schools around this country are guilty of teaching people that we don't feel pain like everyone else. That is a straight up lie. But this is still taught, y'all, in medical schools to this very day. And if you teach that to a people that already got a problem with you, of course they're going to seize the opportunity every time they come across one of us in a medical situation and keep denying you of any kind of pain management. That's what they have been doing all along. So, pain inequity is just one example of health disparities in the Black community. In addition to the higher rates of infant and maternal mortality, Black Americans experience greater incidence of high blood pressure and Alzheimer's and other diseases. And a lot of those diseases have to do with the poor American diet. So, there are very deep roots to pain inequity in the Black community. The roots are historic and systemic. They stretch back to slavery, a societal institution that was based on and perpetuated by the notion that Black people were biologically inferior to other races. Yeah, that's why we got to keep getting sabotaged, right? Yeah, right. Pointing to enslaved people who were experimented on. Yeah, and a lot of times it was no consent, there was no anesthesia, and they would just cut into your flesh and had no regards to you being in pain or screaming out in pain. Didn't care. They were put on display in medical school lecture halls, and even textbooks included myths about Black people were biologically different. Those notions and myths have been perpetuated for centuries and still infiltrate our medical education curricula. Yes. And like I said, when you notice a doctor is blowing off your pain, you need to get rid of them immediately and find yourself someone that will listen. We don't have to sit and take this crap, y'all. You know, your medical insurance is not going to be upset if you switch doctors. And that's exactly what we have to learn how to do. Stop sitting and just accepting the crap that they throw at you. We know that the next generation of health professionals hold the key to changing how we are cared for by medical professionals caring for their patients. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if one generation is going to do all of that. I've heard that same thing about racism, how the next generation is going to be better, and it's never better. It's never better. So, also continuing medical education and training for practicing health professionals around pain and equity will be key. Institutions must implement clinical protocol and processes to track pain inequity in practice and intervene when necessary. They must hold themselves accountable. Yeah, but they won't. They won't you know I mean, it's good to see this out here because it is a serious subject matter. Either you or someone in your family, you have seen them suffer in pain, and you've seen this uncaring medical professionals out here. And it's not all doctors. Some of these nurses are walking around with those same falsehoods in their heads, and a lot of times you could be hospitalized and they're not even helping you with your pain. So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. I mean, it's good that Advil is trying to come up with something to move forward from all these myths that are out here, but I think it's going to take more than that for the system to progress to the point where these things no longer happen. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. And if you've had these experiences before with doctors, let me know in the comment section. Peace, family.